Yeah, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the M365 FM podcast. I'm your host, Mirko Peters, and today we are diving into one of the most misunderstood areas of artificial intelligence. Everyone, everyone is talking about AI, everyone is building AI, but very few people are talking about how to engineer AI systems that are reliable, maintainable, and actually useful. Today's guest is someone who lives exactly that intersection. And Buscagli is
Yeah, it is a difficult last name. Don't worry. The name is Alan Buscaglia. It's
ah
difficult. It's difficult. Don't
ah
worry.
Buscaglia, Buscaglia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Alan Buscaglia is an athlete at Prowler, Microsoft MVP, Google developer expert in Angular, educator, open source contributor, and creator of a massive Spanish-speaking tech community, Gentleman Programming,
Exactly.
reaching well over 200,000 developers across YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Discord, GitHub, uh,
Yeah, I'm everywhere, man. I'm everywhere.
yeah, and LinkedIn. Yeah, his current focus is something, incredibly exciting. Loop engineering and AI harness engineering, the discipline of creating AI systems that constantly deliver high quality outcomes instead of unpredictable magic tricks. We are also going to discuss community building, developer education, content creation, leadership, Microsoft AI ecosystem, and what is the future of software engineering looks like in AI first world. So welcome, Alan, to the M365 show.
Yeah, thank you, man, for the invitation. I received your message and say, okay, I had to go with this. So perfect. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I think the most people know you, but for people meeting you the first time, who is Alan?
Oh, Alan is strange. Let's say I'm a workaholic, but more than anything, I'm a teacher. I consider myself a teacher. I love teaching. I love, sharing knowledge. I think knowledge has to be free, and it has to be everywhere. So that's why I started my YouTube channel that is Gentleman Programming. You can also find me, well, as you say, everywhere, right?
Mm.
Apart from that, I'm also apart from content creator, I'm also a open source developer. I created AI tools like Gentle AI or Ngram that try to simplify people's lives. Not only people that are developers, but I don't know. I have people, for example, that are CEOs or are working on data science
Mm.
or I don't know, even finance, and they use my tools and they say, "Hey, this is amazing." So perfect.
Yeah. And you did become both a Microsoft MVP and a Google developer expert.
Exactly. Exactly. A foot in both walls.
Yeah, this it's really amazing. So I think it's the three big. I think Amazon, Google, and Microsoft are
Hmm.
the three bigs, and you have more for two of them. So you have to collect others also.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Amazon, you know what to do now.
But yeah, when you look at back in your career, what yeah decision change everything?
Oof. A lot of stuff. But the principal thing, and no worries about this. You're gonna find that I'm super open about everything. Okay, and through, transparent. And okay, in this case, the thing that make a click in my case was my father's death. Okay, it was like something that really made a click on me. I was one of those, people that are just, I don't know, lazy. And when that happened, everything came true. I had to be like the man in the house, and take care of things. And yeah, that then really made a change on me. I started having, I don't know, grabbing a university more serious, studies, starting my career also, everything, everything. And when I started working, I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a tutor, right, for everything that was programming related and such. So I try to be that one for people. That's why I'm creating content. I try to be that mentor that I didn't have.
Mm, Yeah, yeah, your content experience is it's really interesting. You have the gentleman programming, and I have try to validate it on some tools, but it's all says it's the one of the largest Spanish speaking developer community. How did all this begin?
Well, in pandemic, in pandemic, you could have two things, or you have a kid, or you start creating content. So in this case, start creating content. The kid came after. So I don't know. As I say, I was trying to get myself, in something, trying to do something, and I always love creating content. I used to, for example, to create content for my companies that I work at the time. I also started communities in those companies. So I say, okay, let's merge those things up, and boom, gentleman programming came through. That was the main thing.
Yeah, and have you I think on YouTube you have more than 120,000 follower or
Oh yeah.
subscriber. I think it's the right word. Um, have you ever expect to reach this, or was this a plan? Or
No, not at all. Not at all. I still remember when I had my first 1,000 that I was almost crying. I was crazy because I was thinking, okay, first, uh, why? Right? Why people are watching me? What do I have to offer to these people? And having people tell me, oh no, I had a job because of you, or you have been this and the other. I came through this difficult challenge because of one of your teachings. Because I don't only teach programming and now AI. I also teach software skills. Soft skills. I teach. I don't know. One of those guys that have like a phrase for everything. So I know. I like giving advices. So, for example, used to have a space in my streams because I also do a stream on Fridays, and I had a space that was a one-on-one where you can just get into Discord with me, talk about something, I don't know, ask me something, and I was going to try to help you. And the number of people that came in just to say thank you, for those kind of stuff, thank you, was amazing. And I I still don't get the numbers I want to like live from this. I don't even want to leave my current job because I love my job. I love working, because when you get into my case, right? I'm a lead at open source. That's the amazing of it. Open source cybersecurity company. I'm still learning, and I'm hands in the challenge, right? And if I get out of there here, what do I have to teach people? I don't know, theories? Nah, I like teaching practice. So it's a little bit of everything, right? It's I don't know. It's amazing. It's amazing. What people gives me, the satisfaction of that kind of feedback is just it pays for everything.
Mm, yeah, uh, I think then is one the what the people say, and the feedback from the people was one thing that motivates you to continue creating the educational content you did. Um, but I think at the start, I feel the same. I have, I don't know, one 100 follower on YouTube and do every day. It's really hard. How did you motivate at the start?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really know. I think it's just one of those things that gets to you. I don't know. I used to help a lot of people in the university, and even school. You know, uh, those guys that always give a hand when there's an exam. you know, I was that guy. I was the one that tried to explain things in the last minute. But the issue is that the people that I teach they passed the exam and not me. So that's the crazy about it. But I know it's something that is just like a call. And I
Mm,
don't know. I really love doing this. I mean, that's the explanation.
and I think you do so much in all
Oh,
these
yeah.
channels, and you have a job. You do speaking. You come to podcast. Yeah, I think you have also a family life, and you do the content creating. How did you balance this? This is awesome.
It's difficult. It's difficult. It's a lot of time because I also have a family. I also have a kid of 2 years. So I had to balance everything. you know. Because as you say, for me, my job is my life. That's the thing. I work 8 to 9 hours in my, let's say, how's it, official job, let's say. But then I have my content creation, I have the open sourcing, have everything. For example, now I'm on vacations, but I didn't sleep at all. I have been doing open sourcing like crazy, and I love it. I love it. It's one of those things, like, I don't know, people like watching a movie when they're vacations or going somewhere. I love working. I mean, I love having my own time, I don't having pressure on my things. So yeah, it's like that. I always have my phone with me. I connect remotely to my computer. I give an instruction, and I continue my life and just manage things. Yeah.
That's awesome. You have a kid. Will you also say it's all should also become a thought leader, or I think in this generation it's more influencer the word.
It can be. It can be. He's crazy, and that's why you have to be, right? He's a little bit crazy.
Yeah, and what have you learned from leading such a large online community?
Well, that you never know enough. That's the thing. You never know enough, and the imposter syndrome is there
Mm,
always,
mm,
always. And when you're tired, when you think I did this and this is wrong, and people are gonna hate it, and from nowhere you have a message saying, "Hey, this is so cool. Thank you for this. It don't block me and this and the other." That's amazing. And I mean, the feedback doesn't have to come from you. It has to come from people that respects you, or I don't know, even people that doesn't respect you. Even they have, I don't know, a critical, bad feedback, toxic feedback. You also have to see in between lines, right? What can I get from this message? And I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. And again, about the toxic feedback, it's gonna happen. It's gonna come. There's always someone gonna say something about you, and that's the thing. You have to care. You have to care. You have to be yourself, and that's it.
yeah. Uh, how does AI help you to handle all this community and stuff? Did you use AI, or are you critical?
I did everything. I mean, when I started, the AI wasn't a thing. Even automations were difficult, right? And at the start, it was just me doing everything. But it's still me. It's still me, but it's different because when I started, again, it was just me. I was like getting this truck into motion, right? Trying to start the car, the engine, and now it started and it's going. So if I'm not there, nothing happens. You start seeing people that comes through, right? That say, I don't know, there's a question. Previously, I had to be the person responding to those questions. Now, the own community is responding, is helping, is trying to give a hand, and that's crazy. That's really crazy. So that's why I say I, I'm I'm not alone anymore, right? Because my community is there, helping, giving a hand. But I use AI. I love AI. I'm one of those that think that AI is not going to replace
Mm,
your thinking, but it's
mm,
going to help you give it, let's say, better to other people, right? To share it better. For example, my post on social media and such, I literally spent hours and hours giving instructions to the AI on how I talk. So
mm,
I just say, okay, this is the message that I want to give. Give me this post, and it has to, with all the distraction, the such days for great CEO, that has to appear organic. It has my own way of thinking and such, and boom, I have a post. And when I read it, it's exactly as I was going to do it. So I don't have to change anything. Maybe one or two things, but it helped me a lot. It really helps me a lot. But I never, but never leave AI to pull the trigger. That's me.
mm,
Always. I always part of the loop. I'm the human in the loop.
mm. And what excites you most about AI today?
Oof. There are a lot of things. I mean, we are in strange times, right? Because we always have like this generational leap when you say, okay, now we have the CLIs. the compilers. Every single thing has been a generational leap. Right now, we're in the middle of it. We don't know what is the next big thing because we are in the next big thing. Right now, AI is evolving, is changing stuff so much that we don't know the end of it. We don't know it. So, in the first thing, I'm excited for real.
Mhm.
And in my case, the way of coping with all these changes is being part of the change, being at the top of the wave, trying to be there, right? To be, let's say, to have some control on what's happening. That is really difficult, really difficult. And for example, my AI tools are the result of that. I'm on top of what's happening, trying to uh, for example, I do a lot of harness engineering and loop engineering. Okay, what I'm doing is trying to give some control to this amazing thing that is an agent and trying to share that knowledge in a way that you install it and you can use all those hours that I spent for it, you know, and super easily. So it is a part of that. I'm excited a little time. I'm tired, we can say, super tired because it's a lot of changes. But I don't know, it's exciting. I don't know, I really like it. I really like it.
Yeah, I see you talk a lot about the AI harness engineering um, topic. When you should explain it in simple word for people that are not familiar with it, what is it exactly?
Okay, let's say it this way. Every single time you start Cloud Code or Codex or Copilot CLI or whatever tool you want, you don't know it, but it's not just like you ask a question and something happens. If you ask exactly the same question in every single one of these tools, every single one of them is going to respond differently because every single one has a harness engineering behind it that is different. That's why some people say, I like Codex, I like Copilot, I like Cloud Code. Why? Because when I work with them, they work this way. And for me, it's better. Okay. The thing is, when you cope with what a company wants or what the company thinks, or is exactly what you want, or maybe it's not exactly what you want, it's different, and you differ, right, with their way of thinking. That's why you can create your own harnesses. And that's why, for example, Gentle AI is a collection of harnesses and ways of thinking and reasoning. So a harness is exactly that. When you ask an agent a question, it doesn't go directly into the response. It's, let's say, directed, it's guided into how to give you that response. For example, if you're working in development, right? The flow will be I implement something, I committed something, I create a pull request, and boom, I merge it if it passes. That flow is a harness. Exactly, that is a harness, right? You say first, whenever you have to implement it, you have to see how the code is made. What are the conventions of the project? Then, how is the template of the commit that you have to use to do the commit? What is the template of the PR that you have to use to create the PR? Okay, all the continuous integrations tools are, actions are green. Are they working? Perfect. Now you can merge it. Okay, those are harnesses that has been here for a lot of years, and now we're expanding them into agents, into AI.
Mm, yeah, I have. Last week I read a funny study, and that's from how in which language you ask the same questions in Cloud Code. It gives different answers, and it's try to be more like the stereotype. Like
Yeah.
if I ask a German, it's more straight. And I don't know in other languages. Yeah, that's really really funny. Um, so, yeah, did you think that the eye harness uh, is something why a lot of AI, yeah, many AI projects fail?
Yeah. Yeah, I truly believe so. What's most. I think mine can fail at any time because I don't know something that you do for one model for one. It's not only the model, the effort. Okay, for that model may change the response, right?
Mm,
The output. So every single time that something happens, in my case, I have my great community. There's always testing stuff, right? So you say, okay, this works amazingly on, I don't know, let's say GPT 5.5. But now that 5.6 is here, it's not working correctly. Okay, let's see why. And no, because it thinks too much. Oh, okay, so I had to change the harness. Or maybe the harness is not needed anymore because the model is trained in a certain way that it just works, right? So those are the things. It's difficult. It's really difficult, really difficult. And when you create a CLI, or I say a CLI because I know I think in a cloud code, the cloud code is a CLI to execute the agent, right, with all the prompting and the such. But I don't know. I think that most tools fail because they are, yeah, they try to over engineer
mm,
the solution, the harness.
mm,
And when you over engineer the harness, a lot of things happen. First, when you harness something, you give context. And when you give context, you are getting the context from the agent. Okay. So you're reducing the amount of, context window that the agent can use. And even you're using more tokens for that. So when you over engineer, these kind of things happen. And let's say it. Yeah, I'm Argentinian. Okay. So in Latin America, we had to say it, having to spend a lot of money for subscriptions on AI is difficult, right? It's really difficult. So that's why a lot of people use, for example, let's say Open Code, and they use one subscription of Cloud Code, Codex, Copilot, wherever,
mm,
to have it as a main base, and then they use open source models for everything else because they're cheap, right? So that's the thing. When you over engineer, you're also affecting these people that are trying to get into AI but don't have the resources to spend a lot of money to have it, let's say, cut, right? So it's super difficult. It's really difficult.
So that's I think a lot of companies and people start with the small language models actually, and yeah, start build their own or
Yeah.
try it. So yeah, I think that it's yeah uh, yeah it's damn the cloud tokens are so damn expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but how do you make AI outputs reliable? What's the tip?
That's the thing. It's difficult. Really difficult. What's more, while we're talking, while we're talking, I have one, two, three, four, five, six Asians doing things for me, right?
Yeah.
And what they are doing is testing like crazy. All the harnesses that I'm implementing. The thing is the following: you have to have a complete set of end-to-end tests. Is like 100% and needed. And apart from that, you have to have a certain way of benchmarking it. Okay, you have to
Mhm,
bench it. So, are you spending more tokens? No.
mm,
Okay, but how much time did it need to reach the output? Less. Okay, that's perfect. Less tokens, less time. But what happens if you start doing things like some things that I'm doing? Okay, spoiler. I'm trying to use algorithms to reduce the amount of tokens that are used. So some of the computation is on the CPU instead of an agent. Okay, you're using less tokens, and maybe the algorithms are a little bit too much, and you're spending more time. And that's a developer experience issue.
mm,
And whenever you say, okay, use this, and it's gonna use a lot less tokens, perfect. But if you have to have, I don't know, spend 3 hours of your life to change one line, we're in bad terms, right? So it's a balance. Everything is a balance. You have to see how fast it responds, how much it costs, and again, how deterministic you can make that output. And
mm,
that's one of the most difficult things also, because it depends again on the model, of the effort that you use. It's super difficult, super difficult.
So you do a lot of testing and spend a lot of token.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't want your cloud core or what you use, Bill. But yeah, but where do guardrails fit into this picture?
Well, that's the thing. The guardrails are, how can I explain it? Okay, I'm gonna explain one. I think it is really good. Um, in my case, something that I'm doing right now
Mhm,
is something that is called commit, pre-push, push, pre-release, gates. Okay, what a name, right? What I'm doing is the following. This is something really new. I haven't seen it anywhere. That's why it's so difficult. Also, I'm trying to freeze changes and how the AI review those changes. I give like a fingerprint of everything has been done for a current implementation. Then I have an agent trying to reproduce or to test it, right? But
mhm,
manually, without tests, manually go execute this, do the other to see how it performs. And if the fingerprint passes the verification, then it goes into another step. So that's a guardrail, right? That is a guardrail. You try to stop the agent from going through issues or to overthinking or to over engineering or to hallucinating. That's also super difficult. But again, as I say, this is new, this is super difficult because I'm spending time.
mm,
It spends a lot of time doing that. Maybe you just change a line. Do you really have to go have an agent to test that you change a line? Maybe not. It depends. But it also depends in which line you change. If it's a line related to, I don't know, billing, oh, of course I'm going to test it, right? So again, it's difficult. It's difficult to categorize the change. It's super difficult.
yeah. Can you a little bit explain how a feedback loop looks when you're working, and does you is it in yeah human uh, feedback loop, or is it also doing the feedback loops with AI?
In my case, I try to be over everything. Okay, I don't like just saying, "Okay, do this, perfect, merge it." No, that's not me. I try to be the human in the loop. I try to be the overseer, let's say, of everything. So in my case, what I'm doing, for example, I can give you an example of what I'm doing right now with all these agents, right? So I have an issue in GitHub, opened by one of the people from the community because they're testing my latest version, and they can see an issue. That's perfect. I love that. I love that. As they are also using Gentle AI, the issue is really redacted. Okay, it's really detailed. So I grab the issue. I go into one of my agents. I say, okay, perfect. Let's see what happens. Okay, give me a detail of whatever is happening right now. So it goes into the code, it reads everything, and gives me a feedback. This is what's happening. Okay, perfect. Give me some possibilities of some solutions. I'm going to also give you my take of how we can resolve this. Put
Mm,
everything into place and let's see what's the best offer. Give me advantages, disadvantages, and the such. Boom. It gives me all the possibilities and I select one. Perfect.
mm,
From there, it depends. If it's a really big issue, I try to do something like SDD, spec during development. If not, I try to just go with it. Okay, given a proposal and see the design, the solution. It starts working, and I always try to limit the scope of the work. So let's say that we have a big issue that has a lot of steps to resolve the issue. Perfect. Let's try to stop at every single step and see what happens. How it's going? What is the output? It's performing as we want to also. And again, are you using TDD, test driven development? Because that's super important for me. Yes, I'm using it. Perfect. All the end-to-end tests are passing. All the
mm.
end-to-end are related to the behaviors that the people in the issue are describing.
mm,
But that's a really good guardrail, also. A really good harness. Use TDD. That's the greatest harness of all for me. So again, it's like that. I'm always part of it. And everything that I just told you is automated in JetDelay. Every
mm,
single part of it. Because that's my way of working. I try to create my own loop that is this way of working. And because I always do the same thing, that's why I created this loop, this flow, right? That the agent has to follow to give me a solution.
and when we think about people or teams, they will start with elevate AI quality. What tips can you give them?
Okay. First, don't let's say don't trust AI too much. That's the thing, right? Because you're gonna see these people, like for example, the creator of OpenClaw. You're gonna see that he has 20 monitors, right, with I don't know 100 agents running everywhere. And the other day, I watched a picture of him saying these are the amount of agents that I can run on my Mac Mini. I had like 27 agents running. First, that's amazing, but I trust me, he has a lot of gates in position to stop all the agents. He has spent so many hours configuring all the setup, all his loops, and everything for this to work. That's the first thing. Second, again, you have to test things on your own. You have to check things out. You have to also talk with your peers. Okay, how do we resolve this issue? This is the way that the team has to work to resolve this issue. This is a team convention. Perfect. I'm asking this because that's exactly what the AI has to use. Okay, so when you are working in a team and even the team doesn't know how to work, the AI is going to make the famous AI slop, because maybe it's not slop, it's the best code in the world. But the issue is that it's not the best code for your current context.
Mm,
And that is the problem. How the AI is going to understand how your team works or how your project behaves if you don't give it to him. That's why you have to have the correct set of skills, right? And every single time that you are working on something and you see that the AI is making these mistakes, why don't you just create a skill for it not doing it again, right?
mm,
Whenever this happens, this is the way you have to behave. Perfect. And share it with your team. Let the team know how to behave. So it's a little bit of that. It's always being the overseer of everything, being there.
mm. Um, oh yeah, awesome. But I think a few years ago, the
Yeah.
prompt engineering was
Mm.
was be a gold mine. The people they I don't know, the companies paid 500,000 euro for doing this. Um, so I think now we are in a new era with agent systems and so on. Did you think the new gold mine becomes the I don't know, I call it AI auditor?
Mm. Yeah. That's the thing, right? I mean, if I ask everyone right now, but every single person in the world that is using AI as a developer, and I tell them, tell me the prompt you just use, I'm more than sure that the prompt is, I don't know, 20 words, something like that. Because right now, the prompt engineering for me, and this is going to be a debate, for me, prompt engineering is dead. For real. For me, prompt engineering is dead. I don't have to engineer a prompt. Whenever, for example, if I have to review an issue, as I
Mhm,
just explained, I just
mhm,
say, read this issue.
mm,
Boom. That's it. I don't have to give him a super proposal with every single step. He has to, because that's what the skill is for. That's why you use a loop. You engineer your loop or your harnesses, because you don't have to spend time doing a prompt. All the hour has to be inside how the agent has to behave. So when you give it a prompt, even if it's super simple, it's going to behave like you want, right? For example, what was the issue before? That the skills or the agent's MD and the such were not the best, or they were not available, right? So when you have to prompt something, you have to give all the specifications and all your needs and all the behavior that we were talking about previously and the such. But right now, it doesn't care.
Mm.
It doesn't really care. You can do whatever you want as you have put some time previously, right? Right? You think about or you thought about how to use it. And from there, it's just going to behave whatever you want. You're not going to spend time doing prompts. You're going to spend time thinking that that's what we want right now. And that is another issue. And when you tell me, what do you feel, what do you think about AI right now? And I say, okay, I'm excited, but I'm also tired. It's because right now, it's what I always wanted. I was always someone with a lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas, a lot of I want to do this, but I don't have time, right? And now is I have all the power in the world to do it. I can do whatever I want. But the thing is that I'm doing a lot of things at the same time, and that's tiresome, really tiresome. Even when you're working, for example, not only my things, right? But when I'm working on my company,
Mhm.
okay, at Prowler, I'm working at 20 things at the same time. Okay, I'm creating these reports at the same time. I'm going to review this PR at the same time. I'm going to do everything, right? And that's it takes a toll, right, in your brain and how things are working there. It's difficult. So whenever you see that people say, okay, I'm going to use AI so I have more time for myself, that's not the the output. You have more time to do more things. That's the thing. There was an explanation of the CEO of Globant, that is a really big company. What's more, it started in Argentina, in my city, Mar del Plata, and explain, okay, previously you had a client, okay, or and you had this amount of work, and now for doing that you have less amount of time. So what do you do with the other, quantity of time? You do more jobs. That's the thing, you create more work, and it's really difficult, and that is the market right now. Even if you create a company that is a software factory, you have to produce a lot more to reach exactly the same benefit as before, because other companies are doing the same thing. Are you competing on how I can have a bigger output with less cost?
Mm,
But the thing is that there's a human cost in here,
mm,
right? So
mm.
it is difficult. It is a really interesting challenge, we could say.
Yeah, think you could AI harness engineering become as common as DevOps?
I think it should. Yeah, it should. What's more? What's more? GitHub has released a new function where you can just use natural language to set up everything
Mm,
for your project, from the continuous integration, the working actions, everything. You can just use natural language for that, and
mm,
behind it, you have an age doing everything. So
mm.
yeah, I think it's gonna happen like that. Yeah.
And for people that they would more deep dive in AI harness engineering, are there frameworks, learning material, or tools for them?
Okay, that's difficult. Why? Because right now, I'm trying to be 100% honest. 100% honest. Let's say that I create a video right now,
Mhm,
okay, and explain harness engineering and loop engineering and everything. In 1 week, it's gonna be outdated.
mm,
In 1 week. And for example, do you remember Ralph Loop, the famous Ralph Loop? That is where it was named after a character of the Simpsons.
mhm.
Well,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, exactly. You it was difficult to remember that, right?
yeah,
But it's not. It has not happened a long time ago,
mm,
for real. But it's such a thing that it's just the time pass, right? There are new things. So whenever I say no, because you have to use Ralph Loop, no one uses it anymore. No one. What's more, Codex was trying to have what it has a functionality that is slash goal.
mhm,
It's a rough loop. It tries to get you in the solution, iterating like crazy. and expanding tokens like crazy. Okay, and people are 50% using it. Not a lot of developers are using it. So it's the same thing. What do I teach about Ralph Loop or the basics of everything? That's what you have to see. So in my case, I have a book where I'm doing all the teachings. This the amazing book, Gentleman Programming. That's it. If you search in Google, it's gonna have appear. It's free, open source, and online. Okay, you can even download the PDF from there. And I have a lot of content on this subject. Apart from that, I really try to explain people to learn the basics. Don't go directly to AI. Try to learn about patterns, about architecture, for example, clean architecture, exam architecture, those kind of stuff, or and even some, let's say, um, XP development or uh, the Scrum, no, because I hate Scrum. But those kind of let's say soft skills, right?
Hmm.
Kind of titles, because right now we are doing a Scrum of Asians. 100%. We're doing a Scrum of Asians. We're trying to get Asians to work like humans. And that is the orchestration that currently we have. Like, for example, right now there's a concept that is called orchestrator minion, right? That I have been using it for month until it had the name. That's the other thing. Now it has names. Everything is being named. So in this aspect, you have an orchestrator that is the one which you talk to. It learns what you want, and it orchestrates sub agents to work and do all the intrinsic, let's say, details of the implementation. They report to the orchestrator, and the orchestrator talks to you. That okay, this is what they have done. Okay, so this is nothing nothing of difference of what I don't know a construction company does, right? You have the orchestrator that is the person that manages the workers and is going to tell them, okay, here you have to create this wall, here you have to create this floor, perfect. You have to do it this way, this way, this way, perfect. Report to me when they're done, and when everything is done, it reports to me. If for example, let's say the orchestrator finds that there's an issue. If it's a blocker, let's say, I don't know, uh, Alan, we don't have more concrete to continue working. Okay, that's an issue. Okay, that's an issue that I want. But okay, one of the workers did the wall, but he did it on the floor. So that's an issue. Yes, exactly. Go fix it. What do you want from me? Okay, that's the thing. So it's exactly the same thing. It doesn't change. It doesn't change. It's how people relate. But we are trying to get that into Asians. So if you learn about soft skills, it's gonna be super beneficial for you. I'm telling you. So if you want to learn from this, read X. Yeah, the platform from Elon Musk. Go and read X. Go and be there. Follow people from the industry. They're 100% all the time talking about new things, thinkings, ways of working, and you're gonna learn a lot. It's
Yeah.
the best way of learning. Yeah.
y- you are the first guy on the show who say X, all others say LinkedIn.
Oh yeah, yeah. I prefer X. I prefer X. For example, I really like Dax. Dax is the creator of Open Code. Okay, you're gonna see here. See in the platform, he's a bald guy with a beard, and he is amazing. Whatever you read from him is amazing, and I'm learning a lot from him. A lot. Whenever he has a way of working, let's say the other day has been a really big fight over X of do you read your code?
Hmm.
It was super simple, okay? And the creator of Ghosty just put this phrase: "I read my code." That's it. There was a big discussion, people bashing into each other, fighting, okay, about that comment. Okay, you have to read your code. You don't have to read your code. You have to read the output and the such. So it's amazing to see different ways of thinking about the same problem and what are their response into it, right? So it's great, super great.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I have to. I was long time. It was. I was long time not on X because it was sometimes I feel it was a little bit. I only see Elon Musk
Yeah.
every post. I don't know if
Now I see why you say that.
uh, yeah. So yeah, but I hope when they have better algorithms, I have to check it out, or I follow the wrong people, so I have to check this. That's kind
Perfect.
of also my bias. Yeah. Um, when we look at all these amazing AI tools and I don't know, so many pop up, and the companies invest so heavy in yeah, they make Nvidia people not to get the cheapest guys in the world. So, um, how did you see the investment in AI, and will you think there's one company that's will win the race?
Oof. I don't know. I don't know. It's really difficult because the company I don't like is the one that is making the biggest, let's say, influence, or yeah, it has advantage on companies, but it's losing developers. The thing is, okay, I'm gonna say it publicly. I think, for example, this guy Anthropic is winning the company race, that companies, they pay for tool for the people and the such, and they're winning that aspect because it's doing what Google does.
Mhm.
Google, it's everywhere, right? If you open Google Drive, if you open Gmail, what do you find? Gemini.
Mm,
You have Gemini everywhere.
mm,
And then you can't work without Gemini. And the same thing with Copilot. With Copilot, if you use Microsoft tools, you're gonna see that you have Copilot everywhere. And Claude is doing the same thing now. Okay, Anthropic is doing the same thing. You have Claude Workspace. It is, or Co-work. I don't remember. I think Co-work. Well, where you can work sorry, you can make work your computer for whatever you need, and you can share that with another person. You can
mm,
share with a peer. So if, for example, you're in a marketing team and you are working on a way of I don't know, delivering a response to a client as soon as possible with certain complexities and stuff, you can share that workload. I say this is the way of having working with this, and you can share. You can work in it. It's great also for creating documentation. I don't know, those kind of stuff. It's amazing. But on the developer side, I don't know. I think
mm,
the models are really expensive, really expensive. For example, I'm Latin American, so when I see that you try to charge $20 for, or 20 euros in my case, for a tool for just two prompts,
mm,
it's crazy. Okay,
mm,
the $20 subscription, it doesn't do anything. It's just two or three prompts and you're done. That's it. And for example, GPT, that I really like the models. I really like the models. I really like also how cheap it is for me. For me, it's really cheap. It has almost the same performance, if not better, because if for me it follows better the instructions. And for the $20, you can do a lot. You can do a lot. Or even if you go into open source territory, you don't. Yeah, you're not gonna see that Quen or I don't know, or GLM are going to win a company race, but the developer one, at least in Latin America, everyone is using GLM 5.2 or Quen or I don't know, or Minimax or those kind of models, right?
mm.
So again, for me, are two different options, but company wise, it's always the same three: is Google, Anthropic, and OpenAI. They are the ones for the glory, going
Yeah,
for the glory.
yeah, I think in enterprise, there's Microsoft has this enterprise companies, so they had a
Yeah.
really good starting point with the start with the baddest product, I think.
Mhm.
From my perspective. But yeah, um, also in the large language models are interesting. And Microsoft has, I see they have also now one. I never have to check it out. It's called Myra or so on.
Yeah.
Have you this?
Not yet. Not yet. I have been reading about it. I haven't read about well, Microsoft also. Sorry, not the big three, the big four. Okay, the usual four. Microsoft also. But in this case, I have not seen it. I haven't seen it, but there are a lot of companies that are trying to mix with, let's say, AI companies are mixing with, let's say, client companies. When I say client, for me is, for example, an IDE like Cursor, right? You know, Elon Musk are mixing now with Cursor, they own Cursor, I think, and they are implementing these new models, these flagship new models with Grok, and they are reaching Fable, um, let's say, reasoning, but at the fraction of the cost. So again, it's the fraction of the cost. I think that imports is important for me. So I think a lot of companies are going to do the same. Are going to release more models. They're going to release, trying to evolve. But I think that right now the reasoning is not the issue, but the resource consumption. That's the thing that everyone has to be working on.
Yeah, I see a lot of people say, "Well, for I don't know, the best image is this, the best video is
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
this is for coding is this, for I don't know, writing emails is this." I see a lot of people starting running on their own systems because they don't need for everything these big models. So I think that this could also be something that we are getting in this time a little bit
yeah,
back from the cloud era back to the classical PC. Yeah, yeah. But the cost is yeah, it's damn hard.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Let me tell you something really quick. Right now, I have a tool that is from the creator of an OpenClaw that is called Codex Bar. Everyone install it. It's amazing. And here I can see my weekly and my 5 hours limits. How many resets do I have? Because OpenAI is giving limit resets like crazy. And I can also see how much I will have to pay if I was in a subscription. And
mm,
that's crazy because right now, with the amount of work that I have been doing with a $100 subscription, well, I have the $200 subscription, I will spend more than $600. So, yeah, the amount of work is crazy. And for example, with a quarter of the work, 500 for Anthropic. And again, I haven't been using it at all. So,
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, today I see a guy that has developed for the Mac Mini an display you can add it on that shows you the cost you,
Yeah.
you're actually running. So yeah, yeah, cool gadget. um, but what did you think um will will be the future of developer? Um, how do those look this will I don't know uh yeah make this job in the future I don't know less important or more important or how do you see
Mm,
it?
I think it's gonna be just like a keyboard for real. But for me, for example, when you think about coding, of course you think about code, but how do you make that code with a keyboard, right? The keyboard is the tool for an end. AI is going to be exactly the same thing. I have a coworker. He doesn't use a keyboard. He just speaks to it. And it's funny because you are talking with him, and you say, okay, yeah, we have to fix this. Yes, yes, let me try to search something. And from nowhere, he mutes himself, and you see him moving his lips, and then he mutes and say, yeah, this is what's happening. Okay, what have you done right there? No, I was speaking with Claw. I say, okay, thank you. Go for it. It's crazy. It's crazy. People are leaving things that we have used for a lot of years for the new stuff, and things are gonna happen. But the main change has to be that people at least have to stop being coders.
Mm,
They have to start being programmers. For me,
mm,
programming is not coding.
mhm,
Coding is a part of programming, yes,
mm,
but it's not the main thing. The ideas, the concepts, the issues and their solutions, that are what programmers really aim for. What to do for a certain challenge. Okay, what are the best possible outcome that I can create with this requirements? These are the things that are going to differentiate
mm,
really good developers and people that are just there.
yeah.
I work at coding. I
Yeah, what I found really interesting, I do every year, uh, yeah, uh, the look at at the LinkedIn graph, the knowledge graph, and
Mhm.
you see how different jobs are changing. What skills are companies searching for? And you see, especially in the development and architecture IT part, it's there. It's soft skills are really come so important. I think it starts with for 10 years there
Yeah,
was the obligatory teamwork, and then hard skill, hard skill, hard skill, hard skill, and now we have a lot of soft skill the companies searching for. That's really really interesting. Um,
totally. Yeah.
and yeah, you also teach soft skills. How can people learn or adopt soft skills in their work?
Okay. I have one way of thinking that is super simple. At least for me, it makes the basics of what soft skills really are, and it's being a good person. Being a good person, yeah. Let's try to summarize some of the soft skills that companies want. They want someone to know how to teach. Perfect. Being a good person. You want someone to that learns fast. Okay. You have to learn how to ask, right? So you have to have the requirement. Again, if you ask nicely, being a good person. Then you have to understand your challenges and you have to share with the team. Again, it's always trying to be a good person. What do I have to do to have a great set of soft skills? Think about what is the correct way of aiming for this target that is again having an outcome. For example, the main issue that is happening right now in all companies is communication. Communication is really difficult right now, even in small companies. Having people from the team communicating with other people that are remotely working about a subject is really difficult. I just going to say something that happened to me when I was because I also teach companies how to use AI correctly, and there's a phrase that is stuck in my head that is, "No, I don't ask my peers any kind of questions. So how do you know what the issue is? And even if you have the name of the person that made the issue, why don't you ask it? Because I just use AI for that. I asked the AI, read the code and tell me what this person did. And that's it. I say, no, that's not what you have to do. You got to ask the person. You have to relate with him. You have to, share. Again, if you stop sharing, the AI hallucinates. It makes you hallucinate. You have to talk with your peers. You have to talk with your team. You have to talk with a product. You have to be part of things. You can't just be a mediator, right? The person in the middle. That's perfect. But you also have to be on front of it. You have to lead what you want. So again, the soft skills are one of the most beneficial set of skills that you can have for real.
Yeah, so I have in every session a quick fire round. I ask some questions, and you say short answer. What come in your mind? Uh, what was the coolest project you ever built?
Whoa, Gentle AI. Gentle AI is amazing. Yeah, 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 yeah. It is. what doesn't let me sleep for real in the evenings.
What is when one technology company says you get all the money and resources you need? What tool will or what LLM or what will you build?
Mm, I will try to make something. Well, maybe this is a bit strange, but I will continue doing what I want. Also, I mean, doing what I'm doing, okay, with usually I and all my tools, but I would like to have people working with me on it. Because right now it's really difficult doing open sourcing. It's really difficult. I don't know if you have seen or read about open source's death because everything is being made with AI and you have a lot of AI slop. If you got a really good community, it's not AI slop. It's ideas that are being shared. That's what you have to see, right? But it's really difficult for me to say, okay, this person is great. I trust this person. I'm going to make him a maintainer. It's really difficult because they also have to have time and they have to share your, let's say, your point of view of what you want, right? And let's be honest, that's a job, 100% a job. And you can expect being so, let's say, into the project as you. Okay, I created it. Of course, I'm going to spend a lot of time on it because I love it. It's part of me, it's my baby. But I can't expect the same for someone else. So if I have all the money of the world, I will have people join me to work on this project and try to, increase it to amounts that no one expects.
Coffee, tea, or energy drinks during development?
Coffee, 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 100%. Yes.
Mac, Windows, or Linux?
Linux,
Um, Docker or Kubernetes?
Kubernetes,
YouTube or Twitch?
YouTube.
MVP or GDE?
Oof, difficult. In the middle, in the middle, because I like things from one and from the other. Things are disliked between them. It's difficult. It's for real. For this one, it's a point in the middle.
Mm. Angular or React?
Uh, Angular for now. Yeah.
Barcelona or Silicon Valley?
Barcelona.
uh, Books or podcast?
Uh, Podcast. Yeah.
One sentence that describes the future of AI?
Mm, let's see. Okay, this is one that is with a lot of effort, okay, and hope and trust. Probably human in the loop. If that happens, I'm wow, I'm golden, but it's not gonna happen. People are just going to go with it. Yeah, yeah. But that will be my preference for the future.
Yeah. What's the next for gentleman programming?
Oof. I would love for it to be something great. S- like How I Met Your Mother. It will be legendary.
So yeah, I always end up every episode with the same question. If every IT professional in the world could remember just one lesson from today's conversation, what should it be?
Okay, it will be that people, you have to learn trust in yourself. Okay, that you can do it, that you are great, that you have the knowledge to say no. This is not what I want. Right? That is the most difficult thing. You're gonna see that the AI is going to just, I don't know, it's going to Tommy Jagan you with a lot of things, a lot of options, and it's like it's super intelligent and you're nothing. It's totally opposite. You know your things, you know the context, you know what you have to do, how to do it. Use AI as a tool. Okay, it's not your boss, it's a tool, an assistant if you want.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, and thank you for joining me today. This has been incredible conversation, not just about AI, but about engineering, community building, leadership, and yeah, building technology that helps people instead of simply chasing the latest trends. So yeah, thank you for staying here with me. It was
No, man.
amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mirko. I really hope that everyone liked this episode and see you in the next one.